Welcome to Littleton Common. I'm Bob Spinozzi.
And I'm Barbara McRae. Happy birthday, Libra. The scales are your sign, and Libra mentally is one of balance and grace, and the opal is this month's birthstone. You know, this is such a beautiful time of the year in New England. We really are the postcard states, but it was time to close the pool and put away the outdoor furniture. I have some unfinished projects I started last winter, so I have to finish them this year. So what about you, Bob?
Well, first of all, I have to comment that the scene behind us says it all.
Yes.
Beautiful fall weather. We're going to spend a little bit of time in Maine, mainly Algonquin and Portsmouth, New Hampshire area. But there's an area that's mid-coast. It's about a 2.5-hour ride from Littleton. It's called Damariscotta. Oh. And it's absolutely, oh my goodness. Barbara, it's what Main Street used to look like in a small town. The drugstore with a soda fountain.
Oh gosh.
An old gas station. It's just really neat. And this area, Damariscotta, happens to cultivate 80% of the oysters that are sold in the entire state of Maine. Yeah. So we're looking forward to spending a couple of days up there.
Yeah, I'm going to have to write that down because it sounds like a place that we should visit. Okay. Well, this year we thought that we should do some shows about travel. We have some great places to visit with Littleton friends. We had Monica Pepicelli bring us to Mount Kilimanjaro, and this month we will travel with Sandra Casale to Japan. You have an interesting trip in November with Tony Jasinski to Slovakia, and many more in the coming months. Meantime, we'll catch up on what is happening here in Littleton. One thing you might want to attend is the Fall Town Meeting on October 28th at 7 p.m. Come early to find a parking place and sign in. But seniors, if you need a ride, call the COA office and let them know. If you're new to town or have never been to town meeting, you will see how our town government works. Might be interesting for you young high schoolers who are interested in government, maybe becoming a selectman or even president.
In sports, the Littleton Tigers field hockey team is enjoying a winning record 1 month into the season. Coach Diane Crory has a roster filled with inexperienced but talented players, and they're only going to gain valuable experience as the season progresses. On tap for October are 8 games, 3 away, 5 home. Home games are on October 3rd, 11th, 17th, 21st, and the 23rd. Now, as of this taping date, Mike Lynn has his Tiger football team undefeated as we usher in October. There are 4 football games slated for October. On the 4th, the Tigers host Clinton. Then on the 11th, it's an away game at West Boylston. On the 18th, the Tigers travel to Lunenburg. And on the 26th, back home with a game against Blackstone Valley. Now, for all information on all Littleton High School sports, go to Littleton Mass Athletics.
Isn't it a shame that the big news from Littleton across the national news was the car crashing into the Oriental store? I received a call from Nova Scotia asking me about it because they saw it on the news. We need something more positive to spread to other places. This really is a great place to live with great people. We had fun with some of Littleton's great people, our seniors. We began with the September 50s lunch, which was fantastic, with music by the California Dreamers and catered by Il Forno. We have been told this was the best luncheon ever. But don't tell me the 50s wasn't fun. We proved it here. We hope to keep our luncheons upbeat and as enjoyable the whole year. Now the Friends of the COA are planning the October and November luncheons as we speak. October will be a Halloween party. Costumes are welcome and a prize for the best one. Don't have one? Then stop in the thrift shop and design your own, or just wear a mustache and glasses. The date is October 16th at noon in the multi-purpose room, and the cost is $3 for residents and $5 for non-residents. And why don't you sign up now? The Veterans Luncheon hosted by the Friends will be early in November, November 6th. So sign up early by calling the COA office. This is our chance to honor our vets. And catering will be by Neshoba Tech's culinary department. Veterans and spouses are free, and veterans of all ages are welcome. Guests will be charged $5 and $7 for non-residents. You know, you've heard the big push for a senior center is on, so you will be seeing a lot of fundraising. I know, another fundraiser, but this is very important for many of our seniors in Littleton. Don't be surprised to see flyers announcing fundraising events. Hopefully, we will attract a large percentage of people to help with our goal. We want to have more days the seniors can enjoy, like our 50s dance. On Saturday, October 26th, Park and Recreation is hosting their Halloween parade and trunk and treat day. We all enjoy seeing the little guys and gals in their Halloween costumes, so go to the Park and Rec's website or call 978-540-2490 to get all the information you'll need. You know, we got a prize a few years ago for our trunk. One thing I would like to mention is to make sure the goblins are wearing something that anyone can see in the dark. Along with that, I have a complaint about joggers and anyone walking at dusk wearing black or dark colors. I am paranoid about that since I almost hit a person around 5 p.m. who was hidden by the dark clothes and the dark surroundings. It doesn't take much to have something bright on your clothing. Someone else told me they almost hit a skateboarder who was wearing dark clothes at night and talking on the phone. We don't want to hear someone was killed by a careless driver on the national news.
Did you know that Littleton has a senior liaison police officer? Stop by the Council on Aging, room 233, on Friday, October 4th at 9 a.m. and have coffee with some Littleton police officers. Meet the liaison officer and other officers you may or may not know. The Police and Fire Department host the Veterans Breakfast every month, and they will be back on October 30th to do it again. Veterans of all ages are welcome, and it's free. So mark your calendars for the last Wednesday of every month and come into the senior diner at the Town Hall Breakfast is served from 7:30 to 8:30. Now also, the Veterans Service Office provides assistance with navigating VA benefits, helping file disability claims, pensions, and more. They will even locate military discharge records. The office is open every Monday and Thursday from 8:30 to noon in the Littleton Small Meeting Room downstairs. Call John Borowski at 978-540-2485 for an appointment. Speaking of John, John is the Director of Veterans Services, and the Town of Littleton Board of Selectmen invites you to the rededication of the Edgar P. Romilly Veterans Corner on Sunday, November 10th at 1 p.m. This will be on the Littleton Common. And if you have any questions, John Borowski can be reached at jborowski@littletonmass.org or contact Cindy Napoli, Selectman, at selectman@littletonmass.org.
Sandra Casale and I are working on another fashion show with clothes from the thrift. Save Sunday, November 3rd, for a winter show. The thrift shop was stocked with a super collection of fall and winter clothing, and we want to share it with you. Be at the Shattuck Street Multi-Purpose Room at 1:30 p.m. on Sunday, November 3rd. We have all sizes. You can see our coats, slacks, tops, along with shoes and jewelry. It's really a special treat. The thrift shop is open 10 to 3 every Monday through Friday, so stop in. I think you'll like what you can find. Now here's an unusual request from our Loving Stitches knitters. They are looking for plastic bags, the kind you get from Donlands and other stores for your purchases. I'm going to show you something. Bev Sears has made some beautiful shopping bags from plastic. You will find them for sale at the Holiday Bazaar. The knitters are in room 233 every Monday from 12 to 2 p.m. And the bags may be brought to the COA room 233. So stop in any Monday and say hi. And this is what they look like. This part here is plastic bags. And then they knitted this with yarn. And they're very attractive. And they've been collecting different color bags to make these plastic bag grocery shopping bags. This is brown bags. So if you have some colors that are collecting in your house, bring them over to the knitters and they will Bev Sears will make these beautiful little bags. And then you'll see them at the Christmas fair. And at the fair, they're going to have a lot of other knitted items like hats and scarves and baby items. They do such a great job, so look forward to that. The craft class will be painting on slate tiles. And you might want a Thanksgiving theme or a Christmas one, or you may want to just paint for any season. Stencils or freehand painting is your choice. There will be a collection of embellishments if you'd like to use some. The number of crafters will be limited, so sign up early if you want to do a tile. And the date for this is October 23rd from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. in the multi-purpose room, Shattuck Street. The cost is $3. The Littleton COA will host award-winning pastel artist Gregory John Mychek and his adult hands-on workshop. Sail away on the craft of pastel painting. This is a 2-hour workshop when you will freely experiment with hundreds of the artist's professional grade pastels, pastel pencils, and pastel paper to create a painting in your own style. Whether you do realistic or impressionistic, the workshop is designed for beginners to experienced artists. This class might be for you, so sign up early by calling the COA office at 978-540-2470. And remember one thing, always sign up early enough so you can be in a class or go to a luncheon, because sometimes if you sign up too late, it's too late to come.
On October 24th, Nancy Friday will be in room 230 to welcome movie buffs. Movie for October is a zany comedy with a message. It's never too late to follow your dreams. Diane Keaton and Jackie Weaver head the cast of the movie Palms. Diane plays Martha, an introvert who moves into a retirement community. Jackie plays the part of Cheryl, a fun-loving neighbor who insists that the two of them become friends. But one thing leads to another, and they form a cheerleading squad, even with the odds against them. So if you'd like to see Palms, showtime is at 1 p.m., October 24th, room 230, town offices. Call the COA office at 978-540-2470 to reserve a seat. $2 donation is welcome.
We made a mistake on the time for bingo at the COA. We put that it started at 1:30 and meant to say 1:15 every Friday. So forgive the error and come in and enjoy the game. Garden Club will hold its meeting on October 15th with a tour of the Mount Auburn Cemetery. An experienced guide will touch upon the history, plantings, and birds, since autumn is migration season, and Mount Auburn is a haven for birds going south for the winter. There might be a wonderful opportunity to see many species of birds. Carpooling is suggested, and this tour is 90 minutes. Guests are welcome, but call 978-394-5187 for more information.
Littleton Lyceum will open its 190th season on Friday, October 4th at 7:30 p.m. They have a musical presentation by Salsero Edwin Pabon, who will present many types of Caribbean rhythms. You'll hear salsa, meringue, bolero, and mambo from his native Puerto Rico. Tickets are available online or at the door for $8 for individuals, $5 for seniors and students, or $25 for an entire household. Tickets may also be purchased online at www.littletonlyceum.org. Program will be held at the Littleton High School Performing Arts Center, so try to attend and support a great, great hometown organization. Now here's Sam for this month's program at the library. Sam, how are you?
Thanks, Bob. Here's what's coming up at the Reuben Hoare Library. We have some new book clubs at the library to check out. On Saturday, October 5th and October 26th at 11 a.m., we'll hold the Classics Reading Group. The book for the fall session is Middlemarch by George Eliot. The Fantastical Book Club will meet on Saturday, October 19th at 2 p.m. The book will be Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury. A new book club for adults called the Third Wednesdays Book Club will meet on Wednesday, October 16th at 7:30 p.m. in the conference room. This month, we're reading Born a Crime by Trevor Noah. Copies of the book are available at the circulation desk. The Mystery Reading Group meets on Tuesday, October 22nd at 7 p.m. Please contact the library to find out the book this month. Every Wednesday morning at 11 in the Cooper Room will be the Littles and Letters story time for ages 3 through 5. Also on Wednesdays this month, there will be a Fiction Essentials with Rich Marcello class at 6 p.m. The 10-week, 3-hour introductory class will explore the craft of fiction, and students will also be asked to write a scene and receive constructive feedback. On Wednesday, October 9th at 1, there will be a movie matinee for kids. The film will be Detective Pikachu. Later that day at 3, there will be a teen movie called The Sun Is Also a Star. The night of October 9th at 6:30 in the Cooper Room, Jack Wang will be back to offer a Financial Aid 101 class. During this session, he will help parents and future college students learn how to navigate the financial aid process and get more aid. On Thursday, October 10th at 7 in room 103 of the Town Hall, the library will hold an informational session on the new library project. Join us as we discuss the upcoming project vote at town meeting on October 28th. We hope to answer your questions on the project prior to the vote. On October 19th, join us for a story walk in the Yap Conversation Land. Meet us at 4024 Newtown Road at the entrance to the Conservation Land for a story walk along the trail to Fort Rock. Meet us at 1:30 for this fun event. On October 30th at 1, join us for a kids' Halloween movie at 3 in the Cooper Room. There will be a teen edible haunted houses program. Make an entirely edible haunted house. Finally, join us for the Friends of the Library book sale from October 17th through the 19th. There'll be hundreds of books for sale. All sales go to support the Friends of the Library. We hope to see you there. I'll see you next month.
Thanks. Bill Vale's internet and computer classes for this month are as follows. October 10th, Basics Security, Keeping Your System and Your Information Safe. October 17th, Social Engineering, Safe Internet Practices for Accessing Information. October 24th, Email Systems, Email Clients, Webmail, Changing Email Systems. And on October 31st, the cloud. What is it? Where is it? And how do we use it safely? These classes are held on Thursdays from 10:30 to 11:30 in room 230. So please call 978-540-2470 to sign up. Now here's just a reminder, your quarter number 2 real estate taxes are due November 1st. Now you should have received a bill in June, and there will be no other reminder sent for November's tax bill, so keep that in mind.
And also, don't forget to get your flu shot on October 8th in room 103, first floor Town Office Building, Shattuck Street. The times are 10 a.m. to noon, or the Littleton Middle School at 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. You know, Bob, it's happened to me. I didn't think it would ever happen to me, but it's the scam. Hi, Grandma, I'm in trouble. Oh, let me tell you, this was really something. I thought that if this happened to me, I was going to know right away that it was a scam. But this guy sounded exactly like my grandson. And he said that he had been arrested for having one drink and that he was in jail and he needed $8,000. And I said, and he said, I have broken my nose because it was an accident.
At this point, you're suspicious.
Well, not yet, because he said, I sound different because my nose is broken. I said, yeah, I thought you sounded a little different. Are you okay? And he said, yes. I said, well, I'm going to hand this over to Grandpa, because now I was getting suspicious. And Grandpa got a hold of the phone, and he said, he listened a little while, and he said, use your scam on someone else. And he hung up. And then we called our grandson and said, are you okay? This was a scam, and we want you to know.
Wow.
But he knew everything about Alex. He knew
details.
I even said, so what about that money you were supposed to have a few months ago? And he went, oh, I only got half of it. And that was the truth.
Oh, wow.
So this is pretty scary. And I think that, you really need to listen carefully and say, I'll call you back. Because my mother-in-law got a call about my son being in an accident, and she said, well, give me your number and I'll call you back. And they hung up. So that's a good one, too. Give me your number, I'll call you back. I have to talk to your mother.
I'll be prepared. I'm glad you told us that.
I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Well, we're going to leave that behind and take a trip with Sandra Casale to Japan. This year on Littleton Common, we will travel around the world. And this month, we are on our way to Japan. The land of the rising sun is ruled by Emperor Naruto and has a population of 127.7 million people. It has the world's oldest population, with a quarter of its people over 65. But one good thing about aging in Japan is that the salaries rise with the workers' age. Today, my guest is Sandra Casale. And Sandra is a member of the Littleton Country Gardeners and recently became manager of the Friends Thrift Shop. With all of this, she is taking time to share her recent trip to Japan with us. So, Sandra, how long was the flight?
Actual air miles was 18.
Oh.
18 air miles.
That is a long, long way, but I'm sure it was worth it.
Air hours, 18 hours air time. Yes.
Well, with that many hours in difference, how did you adjust to the change?
It was difficult. On the way over, first of all, on the way over, we flew into Washington, D.C., and it was a direct flight from there. So it was only an hour and a half to get to Washington, D.C., but then 16 and a half hours to get to Japan. So you get a little restless by the end. And we got there, and the difference was we were ahead of time by 13 hours back home.
Wow.
So we got there, it seemed like the middle of the night, but it was actually the middle of the afternoon.
Huh.
And they suggest you stay up, you don't take a nap, so you can adjust. Well, it took us maybe 4 days or 4 nights to adjust to sleeping.
Wow.
And it was tough calling home, trying to regulate the time with what was going on back home.
Right.
One day I called my husband. I thought he was on his way off to go golfing. And he was actually on his way home from dinner. So I was like off a day. Yeah. So it was a little funny. Jet lag on the way back was a little more difficult. It took us maybe 5 days to get used to the time frame, the time change. But it was definitely worth it.
Yeah,
it was a great trip.
What made you decide to go to Japan?
My daughter, who's now 20, loves all things Japanese since probably the 4th grade. She started loving anime, and she started drawing, and so she always loved everything, and she took the language for a year before she went off to college. So I thought it would be a wonderful mother-daughter trip.
Great.
So that's why I decided on Japan.
Huh. Well, okay, so now you're in Japan.
Yes.
And did you use yen or did you use dollars?
Yen. We had some dollars converted at AAA before we headed out. And it took $40,000 for $40,000. It cost like $350. So I just rounded it up to $400. And that's how I figured out the money when I was in Japan. I just moved the monies over like 2 decimal points. Like 4,000 yen was like around $40. So it was a lot easier converting it that way to round it up and then just move the decimal point twice to the left and you knew about how much you were spending. They love cash in Japan, of course, who doesn't love cash? But they like you to use cash as much as possible. Some places don't even take credit cards.
And now some places don't even take American Express.
Oh, I didn't try that because I read that online.
Yeah.
I read that they really like cash, and only the big hotels and restaurants take credit cards. So I was prepared.
Yeah.
So we went with ample cash. In fact, we even came home with cash, which they don't advise you to do because then you have to pay to convert it again, convert it back to dollars, and they don't take change. So you end up having change forever unless you plan on going back to Japan.
Yeah.
But I did come back with some money, which surprised me. I didn't need as much money as it was suggested online. And I think that's because we went with a tour, and almost everything was included.
Yeah.
So there were probably of the 10 days we went, 17 meals were included.
Wow.
And we stayed in the country. We stayed in both, we stayed in Tokyo, we stayed in Kyoto, and in between we stayed in several little towns. So we changed hotel like 4 times, but we had 17 of the meals included in activities. But everything was included, the price. So that's why I think we came home with money, which is good to know.
So Sandra, you were telling me that they were very, very polite there, and I read that the Japanese have a code of etiquette, and Japan governs the expectation of social behavior. It's very important there, so they have these cultural values to make Japanese etiquette substantially different from Western and other countries.
They were extremely polite in Japan, and they bow a lot. Whenever you leave a restaurant, I told you there were a lot of activities included. Whenever we went to a class and we left the class, heading back to the bus, the teachers would all come out to the sidewalk and wait till we drove away before they went back into the building. They were extremely polite. I've never seen so many polite people in my life. It was really nice. It was very nice.
It does sound nice because in a lot of cases, I hate to say this, but we've lost a lot of things from the old days that was etiquette. So what about the food?
The food was really nice. A lot of fish, though. You have to really like fish. If you're going to Japan, you eat a lot of fish. You eat a lot of tofu. But in the morning, every morning, our breakfast was included. And what they had at the hotels were half Western food and half Japanese food. So you had a choice. And our choice was usually to mix the two.
Right.
So it was very nice. But they do eat a lot of fish, both raw fish and grilled fish.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. Yeah, and don't they use like a lot of rice?
Not as much rice as you would think. They do use a lot of rice, like when they're making the sushi, but they don't eat an extraordinary amount. They eat a lot of vegetables. They eat a lot of vegetables and a lot of fish.
Yeah.
Yes.
I understand that what about noodles? Do they have
There were noodles.
A lot of noodles?
Not an extreme amount of noodles. Not like you'd expect. I know, I was expecting a lot of rice and a lot of noodles too, and there really wasn't.
Yeah.
More vegetables, like I said.
Yeah, I think I
fish.
read that red meat is new there.
Well, they have special red meat. I don't know what they do to their cows, but it's the most tender meat you've ever had. Yeah, the narrow beef is like incredible. Really incredible.
Wow. So then you must have enjoyed the food.
Yes.
It sounds like so far you've been enjoying yourself anyway.
Yes. And the food, we did. We both enjoyed the food a lot. Yeah. It was great.
Did you know that they have a Happy Monday system, and they move all the national holidays to Monday so that they have a long weekend?
That's a great idea.
Yeah, I think we've kind of been working on that, don't you think?
Yes,
I think some of
we've
our
been trying
holidays are like that.
yes.
Yeah. And they have a respect for the aged day.
Yes.
which is very nice. That's the third Monday
That
of
should
every
be
month.
every day.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And what else they had? I'm trying to think of what else they did that I kind of checked things out because I wanted to make sure that people knew what you saw, what you did.
Well, we went to a traditional Japanese tea. That was very meditative and very spiritual. That was very nice. And on that same day, we were fitted for kimonos. They dressed us.
Oh.
So that was really nice, and we got photos. But it's an elaborate dress with the padding on the back and the bow and the sashes. And yeah, it takes somebody else. You can't dress yourself. You need an assistant to get dressed. Yeah, so
Wow.
that was a lot of fun. We also took a calligraphy class.
I was going to ask you about that. You said something about classes, and I
Yeah,
thought,
we took
what kind of classes?
calligraphy. They do a lot of gold leaf in Japan, so we decorated these beta boxes, which is like a little lunch box with the gold leaf. We did that. We did some stenciling another day. We had a cooking class.
Oh.
That was a lot of fun. We cooked chicken teriyaki and we made sushi. Lopsided sushi, I might add. But it was delicious.
Yeah.
It came out really good, and that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a lot of activities built into our tour, which is why we went with this tour. Normally, we went in June. We went June 10th to the 21st. And the reason we went in June is because it was all booked up in May. May's a better month to go to Japan because June and July are deemed the rainy season.
Okay.
So I was really nervous about the weather. But we really lucked out. We had one day of rain, which is great. We had one day that there was a threat of rain when we were going to the morning market, which is their version of the farmer's market.
Oh.
We had a threat of rain that day, so we geared up for it, but it didn't end up raining. The next day, it was a drenching rain.
Oh.
And we were outside walking around, but you saw like 30 umbrellas walking around. That was really fun. Anyways, I got drenched. I thought I had a waterproof jacket, but it wasn't so waterproof that day. But that's the reason I preferred to go in May, and I ended up in June. And like I said, we lucked out with the weather, so that was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it is called the place of the rising sun.
Yes.
So there must have been a lot of sun anyway.
Oh, we had a lot of sun.
And is it a beautiful sunrise? I mean,
Yeah, it is a beautiful sunrise. And there's flowers everywhere in public places. When you go to the shrines, there's bonsai arrangements outdoors at the shrine, all the shrines. And the public gardening is gorgeous. It's gorgeous. And I didn't mention, there's no litter in Japan. They are so clean for themselves and for their small planet. It's incredible. You don't see litter anywhere.
Huh.
And you also don't see trash receptacles.
That's what I was just going to
People take their trash with them.
Oh.
It's unbelievable.
Oh.
Something
Yeah.
we probably should do, right?
Really, yeah, not throw
Yeah,
it down
but
someplace.
it's extremely clean and beautiful, the country is.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
good. It sounds
yeah.
like a good place to try to go.
Yeah. I encourage anyone to go to Japan. It's really beautiful.
Yeah, yeah. What about children? Now, you wouldn't know, but because you were on tour, but I wonder if they go to, do they wear uniforms to school, you know?
We didn't really see any children
Huh.
in our travels.
No.
No, hardly saw any children at all.
Huh.
So I didn't see any in uniform.
Of course, they might have been in school or something.
Exactly, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was because it was early June. School hadn't let out yet.
That's right, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, it sounds like, you know, it's,
Oh, I didn't tell you about the Ryokan, our favorite part of the trip.
oh,
That's a Japanese inn.
okay.
And when we were in Kyoto, we had the option to stay over at a Ryokan for the night. And it was wonderful. We get to the Ryokan, they took our luggage to the rooms. They set up the table for us. They gave us something to put on, like these pajamas.
Huh.
like a kimono type
Yeah,
pajama. And then they served us dinner. It was like a 7-course meal. They brought it to us. Then they came back later on and got the room ready for bedtime. They put the mats on the floor. You sleep on the floor.
Oh.
But it's a generous mattress. It's a pad, but
Yeah.
it's probably around 4 inches thick.
Okay.
And it's very comfortable. They came back in the morning, served us breakfast, the raw and grilled fish. It was a traditional dinner. It was a traditional breakfast when we stayed at the inn. And the other thing that they have in Japan that's really popular is they have public bath houses.
Uh-huh.
And in the bathhouses, you don't go into the bath to cleanse yourself. You cleanse yourself before you go into the bath. So they have like little shower areas where you cleanse yourself, wash your hair, whatever. Then you go into the bath just to relax.
Oh.
We didn't go to a public bathhouse. What we did was I called it my private public bath, and our tour guide laughed at me. But what we had was a bathroom with a wooden bathtub, a little shower area. So it was like the same idea as a public bathhouse to use privately. It was really, really relaxing. It was great. In their gardens, we sat outside to have tea in the morning. In all their gardens, they have it at sitting level, so you can enjoy it. So you're sitting at the table, and the garden's at the same level you are, right outside your window.
Oh,
And that's how they design their gardens.
that's beautiful. That's something
Yeah.
you can really enjoy.
Really.
Yeah, so tell me something about the people on the tour. Were there, you're making me think about elderly and younger.
Oh, no. There were all ages. There were some college kids there. There were a couple teenagers with their family. They were from California. There was a person from New Zealand. There was a man from Australia. There was a couple from Boston. There was a couple from Dorchester. I mean, they were from all over the country. And, Canada. There were a couple people from Canada as well, all ages, too, probably retired. Retired people was probably about a third of the people were maybe retired, and the rest were like from 14 up until maybe 60 years old.
Yeah, well, the reason I asked is because of the mats. Because, we know so many people who, even younger, who say, I can't get down there, I'm never going to get
That
up.
was optional, though. At the hotels, you had regular beds.
Oh.
This was at the Japanese Inn,
Yeah.
which was an optional tour. Jenny and I went, and 2 other women went on that one night
Oh, okay.
Japanese Inn stay, and no one else on our tour did it. It was just the 4 of us.
Oh, well, you did a
Yes.
good thing. I think it
Yeah.
was great that you tried it.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was.
Yeah.
It really added a lot to the trip.
Yeah, well, you were with the people,
Exactly.
so to speak.
Exactly.
And the culture, even
Yes.
more so.
Yes.
But, no, it just made me think of people saying, I can't get down, I can't get up, and I thought, oh my goodness, what do you do if you're, in that predicament?
One of the
But you
first.
know what, I bet you the Japanese help each other there.
Oh, they must.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
it's etiquette.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely. One of the first hotels we stayed at, we had dinner with the group, and we used the pajamas that they provided at the hotel, and we had like a pajama party. We went to dinner with our kimono pajamas on.
Cute.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we had a traditional meal that night.
Uh-huh,
Yeah.
uh-huh. Oh, yeah, so you were dressed for it.
Exactly, exactly.
Well, I think it sounds great, and then you had a great time. I'm so glad you could share it with us because, we have some very interesting places to take you this year, and so we want you to make sure your dial, I'll go back a few thousand years, your dial is on the community television station, and you can travel with us. But next month we have Tony Jasinski and his trip to Slovakia. October 14th, the COA and Senior Diner will be closed for Columbus Day. Thank you for watching today. Don't forget to hug a senior.